All right, hello everyone. Brand new tournament here, Spring Major for 2019. And this is going to be the Master Division. So let's jump in here, see if we can't take a look at the holes. I haven't seen any of these yet. So, I'm trying to think. So, I believe when I was playing last week, some kind of slice shot was pretty good for this hole. You can essentially drive the green using that method. We'll have to see what wind they give us. But other than that, it is definitely a possibility to get this to the green. And probably the more angled that it is towards the right, kind of like a northeastern wind, probably be better than any other wind that we could probably get. No, that wind ain't going to do it. So probably not even going to be able to get to the green on this. Best shot is going to be some kind of slice shot. Alternatively, you could just lay up into this area. It's going to make for a very tough hole out though, if you don't get it up to short iron range. So ideally, that's what you're going to want to do. With a wind that's pointed like this, it's not going to be a very large ring adjustment. So let's just see how far I can get it down there. You can see it's actually just a little bit into the face too, which is actually going to take off some distance. I'm just going to use most of my topspin here. And I'm going to play the wind first, which is kind of like maybe in here. 7 or 8 rings for the wind. I'm going to stack one bullseye, maybe just a couple rings on top of this, not very many. Because wind into the face, it's going to not go very, you're not going to need a very large ring adjustment. But it looks like it clears that tree. And you can see even that was maybe just a little bit, in terms of how many rings I went, it was actually plenty. You can see it landed kind of left center of fairway, even with going that few rings. It's because all that wind resistance and especially the curl that you have as well, it just kind of pulls it out more left, and it resists coming back more. So the more you curl, the less your hook is going to go as well. So that's why I'm going so few rings there. You can see I only stack kind of one full bullseye. Then maybe I just put on just a couple extra rings just to be cautious. But let's see where we're at here. It looks like I made it to thorn distance, and that's going to be the key. It's going to be ideal if you do. Now, I know the fairway's kind of all over the place a little bit, so it's not the best landing surface. I'm going to try to land up here on the flat. And I would imagine somewhere around max club adjustment. Maybe just a little bit. I'm going to need to go beyond that a little bit because of wind effect. I'm thinking, what's that, 7-something rings? So far looking good, just a little bit light. And it's not necessarily the adjustment, it's the wind effect. So I needed to go about 7 3/4, 7.8 rings there probably. which is almost about 1.5 per ring, maybe even just a little bit less than that, maybe even 1.4 per ring. So keep in mind that's a significant overplay. But something that will be necessary, especially if you plan to be able to make that. Keep in mind that the wind effect is going to be significant, and it's going to be the secret to being able to make that is mastering that. So